Hello everyone. Now let's take a look at how to set KPI for request for variation, assign users permission, submit request for variation, prepare cost estimates, and lastly submit for approval. We first go to the projects that we are doing by clicking on the projects button, and in the project list select the project that we wanted to make an RFV on. Then select on the users, go to the contract management, ensure that everything inside here is in order, particularly the variation is in order. Select the users, click assign, and then click on the action button again to assign verifier. So the verifier is already assigned, so we click back and then go to the request for variation over here, and then straight away click on the create user permission, and now we can proceed to assign a group name, for example, and then click to add users. For this case, click add users, take on the view cost estimates and also view VO report. And then check on the fill up, omission and addition, also add users. And lastly for submit for approval. Once completed, click on save, and then we have user permission for group A successfully created. Once completed, what we can do now is we go to the post contract and click on request for variation. In this page, we can proceed to click on the action button over here and create a contract and contingency sum. Right over here we can see the original contract sum, and then we can proceed to enter the contract contingency sum. Take for example 100,000. And then we can choose whether or not the contingency sum is included inside the contract sum or not by ticking over here, and then we can proceed to click on submit. After a few seconds, the yes button will be available. Click on yes, and then what we can do now is we click on the action button here and then proceed to add new RFV. Over here, we can proceed to enter the description for proposed variation work. Take for example, and then proceed to enter the reason for variation. And then the RFV category, and then time implication if any, and then we click on submit. Click on yes, and we have the variation available over here. If we scroll to the right, we can see the status is in pending cost estimates. So we click on the landscaping works and proceed to do the cost estimate over here. Take for example, input the item type, proceed with the unit, then the rates. And then continue with the quantity. We can also opt to import any file to support the RAV inside this option. Once completed, we can go back to RAV details, and here we can click on Submit button. Click Yes, and we have successfully submitted a request for variation form. To proceed with the next stage, we can go to the Home, and then for the people who needed to verify the process, you can see the task list available for them to take a look at. So simply click on the item and view the RAV details alongside the cost estimates. Then only they can decide whether to confirm or to reject this particular variation. Say the variation is confirmed, we can input the remarks over here, or else we can straight away click on Approve. Once approved, we can see inside the request for variation form, if we slide to the right, you can see the status here is indicated as verified. So if we go to the project dashboard, we can observe that one task is pending. So we click on View, and over here we can observe the financial standings in related to this RAV. We can observe that the RAV category maximum is 0.15% and the current is at 12.05. We can see that these particular items exceed the KPI assigned for this particular project. What we can do now, if we click on Submit button over here, we can see this RAV category has exceeded the KPI limit percentage. We can either seek for VO's committee's approval before proceeding with this RAV approval, or we can make amendments for this RAV. Say we wanted to have the approval from the VO committee. So what we can do now is we click on the Select Verifiers, and then we click on Submit button over here. Again, there are warning message indicated over here. So once we're sure, we can proceed to click Yes. Now in this RAV form, if we scroll to the right, we can see the status is at pending for approval. So at the verifier's to-do lists, they will be greeted with the post-contract to-do for that particular project. So if they decide to inspect the project, they can further examine the form and then decide either to confirm or to reject the form. Say they decide to confirm, add any remarks if available, or else they can straight away click on Approve. Now if we scroll to the right, we can see the status is at Approve. And if we go to the Buildspace Pro, and inside the variation order, we can see the VO number 1 landscaping work is at preparing status.